Hi Earthlings, I'm Trice, and in this video you are going to learn the 7 universal laws to attract more money. You do not have to do any more work. Simply a shift in thinking that will make you thousands. I just did this with my client and he is going to make $1,000 more a month by doing nothing. The first universal law of money is the law of abundance. It states that there is an infinite supply for every desire. All you have to do is ask and it will be delivered. Does that sound like hogwash? This one is so much easier to see on its opposite if you have a hard time believing that, if you've been struggling and pining. I just had a client and he is in a mountain of student loan debt, struggling left and right. So it would look like that universal law, that abundance is everywhere, that all he needs is to ask, is not true. But when we were going over his budget, I said, look at everything in terms of value added, not how much it costs. That's currently irrelevant. How much value it is adding to your life. And I have this little scale, 1, 3, 8, or 13. 1 adds no value, your dog wouldn't even buy it. And 13 is like best thing since sliced bread. We are going through his budget, and since the pandemic, he has been staying upstate with his family instead of here in New York City. And when we got to his apartment, I said, how valuable is this apartment to you? Is it a 1, 3, 8, or 13? And he said, well, right now it's only worth a 1. I'm not even staying there. And I said, well, the only time that exists is now. So that is not adding value. Tell me how you came about purchasing or renting this apartment. And he said, well, I was afraid it was too good of a deal to pass up. And I knew that I wouldn't be there, but I re-signed the lease because who knows when another chance will come along like that again. Did you hear it? He was operating from the principle of scarcity, and from that, only scarcity can come through. So that's what he was feeling, scarcity, lack, when he had tied up $1,000 for something that was providing no value. And it was still hard for him to sublet or let go of the apartment because of this hold of scarcity on him. So if you are not feeling this truth, that abundance is everywhere, all you need to do is ask, reflect, and ask yourself, how many purchases have you bought through the eyes of scarcity? Oh my gosh, this might be the last one left. I better buy this sweater now. Not necessarily because I love it so much, but I'm afraid the opportunity will evaporate. You can never lose your dreams. If something that you are longing for, a house perhaps, is purchased by somebody else, fear not. A new house, a house even more wonderful, will be built for you. This is the law of abundance. And all you need to experience it is to believe in it and take actions based on this principle and not that sneaky face of scarcity. Now, if you really want the money to flow in, just tap into this universal law. Now tell me, would you like money to flow in rivers of abundance? You just have to heed this law. The more you give, the more you receive. That is a universal law. Money is a game of exchange. It does not reward the person who works the hardest. Hard work is not part of the equation. Money is a game of exchange of value. And that might sound esoteric, so I'll give you a couple examples. I worked as a bartender, but if you just threw the drink across the bar and told the guy to piss off, they're not getting very much for their money. Yes, they're getting the drink, but when people come to a bar that has nice music and lounging space, they are coming for the vibe. They're coming to connect, they're coming to hang out. And I realized if I made the guests feel like they were having a good time, they paid me royally for it. not by asking, not by demanding. And some people, they just tip $1 and I'd say thank you and bless it just the same. But some people would tip $20 on one drink just to show their gratitude. I highlight this bartending example because it's easy to get caught up in, I'm not good enough, I don't have anything special to add. If you have 2 ears, you have something special to add. You know the best gift you could possibly give anybody on earth? Making them feel heard. Listening is a gift. And when you give things, you will receive compensation in exchange. Now, a caveat, you can't be like, hey, I listened to you, where's my money? Or I can see you're having a good time at the bar, where's my big fat tip? You have to give freely with no strings attached. This is what allows the exchange to come in. And if you want more money to come in, just find ways to offer more of those types of exchanges. That was the origin of this YouTube channel. I was doing my financial planning in my little office in my house, helping people one-on-one, which was great, but I only could reach so many people that way. So I pulled out my son's iPad and started filming to the world, and my income grew substantially. I think I did a video, I'll link it below, maybe about a year ago. My take-home pay after taxes and stuff like that was $4,000. Now it's $8,000. Still doing similar type things, just offering more exchanges to more people. And if you're asking yourself, well, I don't know how to do that, stop asking yourself that question and ask yourself, how can I give more? How can I create more exchanges? Now, this next law is so freakishly easy. And the best part, not only does it put more money in your pocket, it puts more rainbows in your day immediately. The third universal law of money is the law of expectancy. It states, we do not get what we want. We do not get what we desire. We get what we expect. Imagine you're at a party, and before you go into the room, you realize you don't know anybody, and your hair is out of whack, and you're feeling a little frumpy today. So you decide, I'll just go to the bar and then beeline it to the wallpaper and scour the room from there. So when you walk in, you see unfriendly faces. You kind of feel a little out sorts. You stand by the wall and leave early. Now, rewind the tape. Imagine you think that everybody secretly loves you in the room. And now you're about ready to walk into the exact same room. Do you line the walls and try to appear invisible? Nope. You sashay into the room, say champagne for everyone, and start chatting everybody up. These are exaggerated terms, but when you feel like you're going to be warmly received, it is so much easier for you to initiate conversation. So I have a question. Do you have a hard time expecting good things to happen to you? Or do you think everything always works out for me? I'm telling you that mantra, everything works out for me. Wow, guys, that does doozies. I did my first Uncover Hidden Money Blocks workshop, and I have a free worksheet in the comments below. If you're interested, it helps remove ways of thinking that might have been blocking money coming into your life. Anyway, I was giving my first workshop ever. Super excited. I had about 10 people sign up for it, 2 classes. The first class, 40 minutes into the first class, nobody has showed up. There were supposed to be 4 guests that night. Nobody was there. After 40 minutes, 1 person showed up, and I felt like a superstar. I was so excited about just doing the class, about doing something different than I had done before. I had never done a group thing. And I'm happy to report that all 7 people showed up on the Saturday class. But the point is because I was so happy with the first class, I didn't feel defeated. I didn't want to quit. I'm like, I'm a superstar. I'm going in a new direction. I'm scalable. Do you see how the law of expectancy saved me? How it could have been so easy to retreat and tell myself a different story that was completely false? So ask yourself, what do you expect to happen in your life? Do you expect people to love and adore you, or the opposite? The easiest way to get richer is simply to flip the script on the way that you're thinking. Do you guys like gifts? Because I feel like I got the most beautiful golden gift for free because I observed this next law of money. The fourth universal law of money is the law of use. Money hates sitting still, and if you force it to, it will find somebody else to make rich and evaporate right before your eyes. Don't believe me? Imagine you had $100,000 and you decide to play it safe, and you just snuck that all into one big bank account. Well, you leaving it there, the bank's gonna take it out and make themselves richer by loaning it out to other people who want to buy houses. Well, inflation, the silent eater of your wealth, will turn that money to dust. Each year that ticks by, your $100,000 will be worth about 3% less in America, down to $97,000 in spending power. And the next year, $94,000 in spending power. And if it goes on too long, it will evaporate before your eyes. I found that I was doing this, and we all do this. We have stuff in our house that we're keeping for who the hell knows when. Maybe it has a memory attached to it. My college boyfriend gave me a diamond ring. Haven't worn it in 20 years, and there it gently sits in the box. And I was playing with this idea of use. And if you don't put stuff to use, then money will be taken out of your pocket because you are violating this law. So I decided to take all the jewelry that I was not wearing or hadn't worn in 20 years and take it down to the Diamond District and sell it for cash. But I'm a jewelry girl, so I was like, I would really love a locket to go on my pearl necklace. And guess what I found that day without even looking for it? Lenore Alexandra, I don't know if I'm saying her name right, has a channel on the law of attraction. And she had this clickbaity title that said, I lied. And I went, click. But that brought me directly to her gorgeous jewelry collection. And literally one of the pendants is for prosperity. And it is exactly the same amount of money that I got from selling my jewelry. This is a small, fun example because sometimes it's just nice to decorate ourselves in gold, but it works on even more serious matters. If you're holding on to stuff because you're afraid, well, I might use it when or someday, it is scarcity. You are trapping scarcity into your life with these thoughts, and the things are compounding the weight. I tell myself I live in the now house. The only time that exists is now. And the universe is abundant. And shall I need this later, it will present it in a new fashion. And the exact same thing applies for you. So if you want to feel richer, literally immediately, look around your house. That anything that hasn't been used, let's say in a year, and sell it, watch more wealth flow into your life. This next universal law is so perfect for our times. So if you have felt down in the gutter, like things couldn't go more south, you're going to be so happy that these current events are upon us because it's going to turn it all around. I don't know if this is a universal law of money, but I call it one because it's always true. Crisis creates opportunity. If you are feeling the destruction of the current times that we live in, fear not, because that is the biggest opportunity where most of the millionaires and zillionaires are minted. And why is that? Is that because people are vultures? It's because people need solutions for their pain, their problem. I've been financial planning for, I think, about 12 years. In no time has anybody ever come to me and said, Trice, things are magical and gravy. My finances are in perfect order. I think I would love to have your services. They always come when there is a problem, when there is destruction, when something is not working out. Pain is nature's fastest agent for change. We are willing to take leaps of faith and do things we normally would not do if we are feeling wickedly uncomfortable. Even here at the pandemic, my husband owns a spa that I'm sitting in right now and is opened at 50% capacity, but only 30% of the people are currently coming. I have to imagine that this drain on his income has inspired me to take the lead horse and say, well, I can just earn more. I'm happy to try something new and be brave and be bold. If you don't see how this applies to you, just look at it through this lens. What is the crisis? What is going wrong? What do you hear people struggling with that you have the ability to fix? Your mind will seek and find the answer as long as you give it the proper question. Not, I can't. How can I? Okay, we got all the good ones out of the way, and if you do all those, you'll be richer. But this one, it's gonna make you want to tap dance all the way to the bank. The seventh universal law of money is that it is a game of seduction. Now, what do I mean about that? Money wants to be seduced. Money wants to be loved. It literally wants to go to somebody that loves it and knows exactly what to do with it, but is not desperate and is not needy. Have you ever been desperate for money, just wishing it would come and it did not? All subjects are the same subject. So if you want an embodiment of that subject, just think of it as dating. Imagine I have a man of my dreams here and I am just so desperate for his attention. I quilt him a blanket with our names entwined and hearts and flowers. Do you think he's going to receive my gift with glee? He is going to slowly try to run away from my death grip of neediness. And money is exactly the same. So how can you not feel needy when you might desperately need money? If you can get behind the first law, the law of abundance, and have unshakable faith or slightly shakeable faith in the concept that everything always works out for you, it can massage this death grip. Money loves somebody that treats it well. That would inspire you to learn a couple things about how it likes to be treated. It likes to be put to good use. If you invest it, it will naturally multiply. It will work 24/7 for you without crying or whining or complaining or nothing. It will be happily traded for any desire that you wish on a whim. And it will keep running back to you when you offer up other things in exchange for it. Guys, I cannot tell you how exquisite this game of seduction with money can feel. You just have to try it on your own skin. And until next time, my darling earthlings, ciao.